Welcome to an IronCAD tutorial. This is on Too Tall Toby's practice models labeled May 6 bladed wheel, and this is going to be in millimeters, but this is a simple model. Basically has a wheel here, and then we have some keyways that we have to put on the model, and then we have some fins that we have to design that have an inside radius here of 52 and a thickness of 8. So let's go ahead and show you how to build this in IronCAD. So let's hop over to IronCAD, and what I'm going to start off with is I'm going to drag and drop a cylinder out to start with, and we know the overall size of that guy is 180 for the diameter, and the height of that is 11 millimeters to set that off. So that gives us our starting point here. Next we'll go ahead and put our boss here on the bottom. On the center we can drag and drop right to the center point, and we can now set the diameter of that, which is 65 for that value, and we know the height of this is actually 55 from the opposite edge inside of here, or we can just subtract that value. So it's set at 50 right now, so we just say it's 44. 55 minus 11 is 44 to set that height. So that will give us that value there. And next we'll go ahead and do a cut cylinder that we can drag and drop here, and we can align that to the bottom edge or just pull it through either way. And we want to set the diameter for that hole is 38 millimeters for the hole. Next we'll go ahead and add a blend here as well, so we'll just go ahead and blend this edge here, which has got a 14 millimeter on that, or fillet, however you like to classify that. And next we're going to do the keyway. So we're going to do an extrude cut here, and I'm just going to pull that right onto the center point, and we can see our shape here that's dropped in the space. And what we're going to do is actually set the diameter, or sorry, the width of this, which by right click and dragging I can set that symmetrically, which I want to set that to 12 millimeters. The other thing is we know that this has actually got a reference from the bottom tangency point, so I'm just going to set that there for an offset location and set the other handle to be 43 to set the height of that cut or the keyway there. Then I can just pull this handle up into space or snap it up to the center, it doesn't matter. But basically that gives us our dimension for our keyway. Now that we've got that built, we can now do our blade here. So we're going to go ahead and do an extrude on this model, and we're going to select our part, and we're going to put a sketch. So we're going to say create a sketch. I'm going to create it right on that center point there and hit OK to apply that. So now that we've got this set, we need to build some construction geometry, and one is going to be a circle that we need to have set to a value of 67. So that's a diameter, so divided by 2. That'll give us our diameter for that. And we also want to go ahead and project this outer edge here for reference. And if we want to put a dimension on this, we can, just to show that. That's set to 67 diameter there. Next, we want to have the groove. So we have different types of grooves. We have 2-point grooves. We also have a 3-point arc groove, which we can just simply drag out here and draw this thing. So we're just going to draw 2 points and an arc somewhere in there, and then we can set the value for the width. In our case, we want to set that to 4 to set that value. And I forgot to turn my construction off, so we can just select this outer line and say use that as real geometry instead of construction. So now that we've got this drawn, we can now put all of our constraints on to position it where it needs to go. So what we're going to do is go ahead and do our tangent constraints, because we know there needs to be a tangency from this arc to here, and needs to be a tangency from here to here as well. And one thing we want to do is set that value to make sure that it maintains at 4, so we just click that radius value there is 4 for that value. We can also do the same thing on the other side for the tangency, so we'll select that to this arc and this tangency here down to here to set that. And last, we just need to set the value for this radius, in which we have a set value for 52 to drive that. So that basically just builds our groove for us nice and easily, no real difficulties there. Basically maintains our tangencies, our radius thickness, and our requirement for our radius. So we'll go ahead and hit finish on this. And we know this has a height value, actually it's going to be 38 millimeters because it's 93 from the bottom. So if we subtract the 55 from the 93, that gives us a 38 value, and hit OK. So we'll just set that there. And last, we're going to go ahead and do a pattern feature. So we're going to go ahead and hit the pattern feature command, select our part. In our case, we need to select a circular pattern, select an axis, and then we're going to select our feature, and we would have a count of 6 of those evenly spaced, and we'll hit OK to apply those. So that will build us our basically our bladed wheel inside of IronCAD. Fairly easy to do. No real difficulties inside of IronCAD to do that inside of here. So let's just go now and set our mass density as 1020 for this model. If we tab out, we should see a mass of 482 for this model. So very easy to do in IronCAD. Again, mainly drag and drop, but then we use the cross section for building our nice little bladed shape there, which is an arced groove, in other words. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and we will see you on the next video.